Hi everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim. I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about Doordash Base Pay. And why is Base Pay important? And has it changed? There's been a lot of talk lately about this Doordash Base Pay, so I kind of wanted to explain what it was. So this is what the Doordash website says about Base Pay. It says Base Pay from Doordash to Dashers ranges from $2 to $10 plus per delivery, depending on the estimated duration, distance, and desirability of the order. Deliveries that are expected to take more time, that require Dashers to travel a longer distance, and that are less popular with Dashers have higher base pay. Every dollar customers tip is an extra dollar in the Dasher's pocket, and customers are able to tip at checkout and soon after the delivery. The amount Doordash pays in base pay and promotions will never vary based on the tip amount. All tips provided before or after the delivery will be shown in the Dasher's earning breakdown. Okay, so that's exactly what Doordash says on their website about base pay. Why does base pay matter? Well, base pay is the amount that Doordash is paying the Doordash driver per delivery. There are promotions that will be also paid by Doordash. It's called peak pay. Well, there are other promotions, but peak pay is the most common one. It's added sometimes during very busy times or at times where they have more orders and maybe not enough drivers. $1 to $5 is all I've seen, but maybe there are some higher peak pays. I'm not sure. My area seldom has any peak pay. Tonight they did have some. It was $1 extra per delivery. I'm not really sure why, but there was a peak pay. But normally we don't have peak pays around here. But in the holidays, like on real busy holidays, I've seen it at $5, which is like amazing. But anyways. So base pay is paid by Doordash, and the promotional pay, peak pay, is paid by Doordash. Okay, so this is the total amount that Doordash is going to pay the driver. In addition to base pay and peak pay, drivers get 100% of the customer tip. Obviously, that is paid by the customer. That is not paid by Doordash. If the customer doesn't tip, or tips $1 or something, then the driver is only getting the base pay and the peak pay if there is any offered. So let's assume the base pay, let's say it's $2 or $3. If there's no peak pay and no tip, then that's all the dollar that the driver will receive is $2 or $3. Wow. Low tip and no tip deliveries. You know, everyone hears about this no tip, no trip. You know, there's a reason. So let's assume for this example that the peak pay for an offer is $2.50. That's the lowest I have personally ever seen. I don't know if there is a lower base pay. I have not seen it. Let's say the driver is offered $3.50. So $2.50 peak pay paid by Doordash and $1 customer tip paid by the customer for a pickup from McDonald's going 3 miles. You're thinking, okay, great, it's only 3 miles. That won't take very long. Okay, so this driver is only going to be paid $3.50. That's all he's getting. So this is what he has to do. He'll drive from wherever he is to McDonald's and park, find a spot, go inside, possibly have to wait in line. Now, some fast food restaurants have the lobby closed and the Doordash drivers have to wait in the drive-thru line, which would take forever. I'm so glad I don't have to do that. Anyways, you get up to the window or whatever, ask for the customer's order. It may be ready, but it may not. Sometimes it takes time for them to still prepare it. If it's ready, they'll hand it to you, obviously. But if it's not ready or they haven't bagged it up, you know, you've got to wait 2, 3, 5 minutes, sometimes more. So then you drive to the customer's location, however long that takes, 3 miles, you know, that could take 10 minutes, I don't know. Depends on how many lights you hit, how much traffic, etc. You park and walk up to the home. As you see, this process could take easily 15 to 20 minutes or even more. And that driver is only being paid $3.50. So if he takes 2 of these no tip, low tip offers in an hour, because that's probably all he'll have time for, maybe 3, but 2 probably, because, they take some time. So 2 times $3.50 is $7. So he's making $7 an hour. Not only is this less than minimum wage, they have used their own car, their own gas, etc. So you have expenses that are incurred being a DoorDash driver. We are independent contractors. We're responsible for our own expenses. So if this poor guy is making $7 an hour, he's not making enough money to make this worthwhile. I'm sorry. So base pay matters, okay? Grubhub pays a larger base pay than DoorDash does. They pay an amount for time and another amount for mileage, plus the customer tip. Now, in my experience, the Grubhub customers don't tip as well as the DoorDash customers do, but that's another topic. Anyways, the mileage amount is not equal to the federal mileage deduction amount. I'm not really sure how they came up with it, but they pay about 33 cents a mile. And I'm not sure how they determine the time portion either, but even for a short delivery, it's at $5 to $6, the time part. So the lowest Grubhub offer I've ever been offered was $8. I went back and because I take screenshots of everything, and I looked. I did not have one under $8. Okay, so that's great. I don't accept an $8 offer, but let's hypothetically use the delivery I talked about on the previous slide with a guy who went to McDonald's. McDonald's 3-mile offer. If Grubhub offered this delivery for its minimum of about $8, I'm just using $8 because that's the lowest I've ever seen. So I don't know that if that is the absolute lowest, but let's just assume. Plus the $1 customer tip, okay? So it's going to take about the same amount of time. Let's say he's going to do 2 of these in an hour. So that would be $18, right? Because you can have $8 plus $1 tip. So he's going to have $9. So if he can do 2 of these in an hour, he'll be making $18 an hour versus $7 an hour with DoorDash. And this is only because of the amount that the platform is paying the driver. This has nothing to do with the customer tip, because the customer tip stayed the same as $1 on both offers. So the base pay matters. And I don't know why base pay on DoorDash is so much less than Grubhub. I don't know. Maybe the customers, I think the customers pay about the same, but maybe the restaurants pay more to be on Grubhub, and that's how they can afford to pay Dashers, the drivers more. I don't know. Anyways, a lot of people have been talking recently that the DoorDash base pay has gone down. Like I said on the website, it says between $2 and $10. I don't know if it's gone down. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen, like I said, $2.50 is the lowest one I've seen. I haven't seen anything lower than that, and I'm not even sure when it became $2.50. That was the $2.50 that I have seen was like in the last month. So prior to that, the lowest one I had was a $3.25. So I don't really know. I'm only basing it on the offers that I have screenshots of. I do not ever take the low tip, no tip offers, so I haven't really noticed a change in the minimum base pay, because I don't take those offers that have the, unless the customer tipped huge to compensate for it, I don't take them. I can't find anything on the DoorDash website stating that they have lowered the base pay, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It says it's between 2 and 10. Maybe before it was between 3 and 10. I don't really know. They might have just changed that number on the website. And like I said, I didn't look this up previously, so I don't know if it has if it has changed. Regardless, this base pay is still very low. I'm lucky that I live in an area where customers tip well, but not all areas are equal. And if I lived in an area where I had to do $3.50 and $4.50 deliveries all the time because there wasn't anything else, I wouldn't be doing this. You need to be able to make enough money to make it worthwhile. And like I said, you've got to not only pay taxes on this money, but you also have to pay for your own gas, upkeep on your car, the risk of being out driving your car. If someone gets in an accident, then they can't work at all after that if, something horrible happens to their car or whatever. So, there's a lot to this, and the base pay matters. What's the minimum base pay in your area? Have you noticed a change? What's the lowest offer you've seen? Do people tip well in your area? These are questions I'd love to talk about. If you could put some information in the comments and we can chat about it, that would be great. I don't know. I wish that there was a way that everybody could make decent money and be able to do this in a way that allows you to have the freedom of being a gig worker, but also be able to pay your bills. And if people are accepting these tiny little offers, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they can afford to accept them. But there's so many of those offers out there, people must be accepting them. I don't know. Anyways, that's all I had to talk about with this. But if you can please, if you have anything to add or anything to correct what I've said, if I've said something incorrectly, put it down in the comments. I want to learn. I really do. So thanks so much for listening and visiting my channel, and we'll see you next time.